Hello everyone, Tom Morley here with video number 7 in the Space Blasters 84 tutorial series. This video is going to be on incorporating our music scene into the game. So we need to do a little bit of setup ahead of time, and let's go ahead and get that out of the way. So go ahead and open a browser and go into your projects folder, Space Blasters 84, source, and audio. Music will be the folder that contains the two MP3s that we'll use in the Space Blasters game. So go ahead and copy those. Back up till we get to the main game folder. Now let's create a new folder called Music to hold our music scene and our music files for us for the game. Let's right click and paste here, and we have the MP3s that we need. Let me fire up the key monitor so that I don't forget that up here for later. And now we need to convert these MP3s to a format that we can use in the Godot engine. And unfortunately, we cannot use MP3 format in the game engine. We need to convert these to an OGG format. Luckily for us, we don't have to pay to buy a program to do that. You can find a program called Audacity on the internet for free. It's another FOSS application. So let's fire that up. Now all we need to do is go to the location where the MP3s are, which it opened right up to where I need it. We'll open the first MP3. Now to convert it, we'll just click File and Export. Make sure that the file type is OGG format. Click Save. Click OK, and you'll see the OGG file pop up here. Let's file close on that. We're not going to save changes. Now let's open the second MP3. Do the same thing. We're going to export it as an OGG. Click Save. Default's fine. And you see the second OGG file pop in here. So we're going to close that because we're done with Audacity. We do not need the MP3 files any longer, so we'll go ahead and delete those. And we're left with the two files here. We need to rename these files just to make it a little easier to load these music files into the game a little bit later. So I forgot which one's which, but let me play this here. Okay, so that's going to be the music we want for the main menu. So we're going to rename that to Menu. And the other one is going to be the level 1 music. So let's rename that to LVL_01 for the level 1 music. Okay, so we are done as far as setting up what we need to set up before we go into the Godot engine. So I'm backing up to get to Godot. I'm going to fire it up. Our Space Blaster 84 project, we're going to open that up. Click on the 2D tab. Now we're going to start creating the music scene itself. Let's create a node, base node. Let's rename that to Music Root. And to play music in the Godot engine, we're going to scroll all the way to the bottom and grab the stream player. So if you want to play music in Godot, you're going to use a stream player. Now I'm not talking about a sound file like an explosion with an asteroid or a ship that's firing a laser. I'm talking about playing a music file like the OGG files. So we'll open the stream player. Now that we have the stream player open, there's a very easy way to incorporate music into your game if you're only going to play one music file. In our case, we're going to have two different pieces of music. We'll have a piece of music for the menu and another piece of music for level 1. But let's just say hypothetically that you just want to play the level 1 music when your game starts and just have that in the background playing all the time. It's very easy to do that in Godot. Go over to your inspector with the stream player highlighted, go over to the stream section and hit this little down arrow and click on load. Now we're going to go where we put the music files. We're going to go into that folder and we are just going to pick level 1 OGG. So now it's loaded into the stream player and we can set it to play whenever the game starts. So you can check autoplay, and if we wanted it to loop forever and ever, then you can click on check mark the loop section here. So just so that I can show you what's going on here, and it might be a little bit faint because you're going to get the music through my speakers. I don't have it mixed with my mic, so we're going to click play. Oh, we can't click play yet. We have to save it. So let's save the scene. Let's go into music. So we're going to put the scene right in the music folder here, and we'll name it music as well. Music scene. Press enter. Okay, now that we've saved it, we can actually play it. So let's play it and hear the music play. So there you go. That's how easy it is to get music to play in the background in your game. Now in our case, we want to have let me go ahead and stop this. We want to have some behavior in our music scene. We need it to know when to change from the menu music to the level 1 music, as well as we want the music scene to be aware of when we want to stop playing music in the game and turn it back on. So we'll define a key to start and stop the music. We might get sick of hearing the music while we're playing the game, so it'd be nice to like hit the S key to turn the sound on and off. So the only way to do that is to create a script so that we can put some behavior in this scene. So the first thing we need to do is we need to turn off the loop here and turn off the autoplay. We also want to click the down arrow here for the stream and clear that so that there's nothing loaded over in the inspector. We'll do all the loading and the manipulating of turning the sound, or I should say the music, on and off in the script itself. So let's click on the music root. Let's click on create a new script. The default music.gd is fine. We'll click create. So we need to create a couple of variables here. So let's create a variable, and let's name that variable menu, and let's load the menu music. So we're going to say music here slash menu dot OGG. Now I'm saying music slash menu OGG because we created the initial project in the Space Blasters 84 folder. So let's just take a look at that so you understand what's going on here. So we created our project in this Space Blasters 84 project, and that's the base or starting location for everything as far as the file path. So we need to tell it to load from the music folder the menu OGG file. So just so you could see that visually. And next we need to create another variable. This one's going to hold the level 1 music, and music slash level underscore 01 dot OGG. Okay, so we've got a couple of variables that can hold the music for us. So we'll create another variable that will allow us to know if the sound is on or not. And we want the sound on to be true when the game first starts up. So we want to do a couple of things here. We want to get the node of the stream player, and we want to set the looping to true. So while we play the game, whatever music is playing, it's going to never end. It'll just continuously loop. Now we want to again get the node stream player, and we want to set the stream that we want to play. So we're going to set the music stream that we want to play. And in this case, when the game first starts up, we know we want the menu to be playing. So we'll tell it to set it to menu. Again, we'll get node. There's more efficient ways to do this rather than getting the stream player node each time, but I think it's important to do it this way at the beginning, just so that people see the nodes that we're using. Okay. So as it sits right now, it looks like I have a couple of variables here that are going to load up the music I need. The sound on is going to be true, and we're going to set the loop, set the stream, and we're going to start playing the file. So let's just click play and see if we get the same behavior that we did when we were using the inspector. And we sure do. It's loading up the menu music and playing it for us. So we know we're on the right track, that we didn't mess up with the file path. So everything looks pretty good right now. So now this music scene has to be aware of some things. And one of the things I want it to be able to do is I want it to be able to change the music that is playing from the menu to level 1. So we need to create a function for that. So let's create a function, and let's call it set music. And we will accept the music selection. Now that I expect this function to be passed a string that represents a music selection, I need to do some checking here. So the first thing I need to know is if the music is playing. So we need to do an if get node, and it's going to be the stream player. We want to know if it's playing. So if it is playing, then we want to stop it. We want to stop it from playing. So again, get node, stream player, and just stop. Then if the music selection If the music selection equals menu, then we want to play the menu. So we are going to get node again, stream player, and we're going to set the stream to be the menu stream. Else if, elif, we're going to check for the music selection again. And this time if it equals level 1, 0, 1, then we're going to get the node again, the stream player node. And what are we going to do? We're going to set the stream, right? And this time we're going to set the stream to the level 0, 1 stream. Then the next thing we want to check to see is if the variable sound on is still true. Do they want us to play this music? So we'll check that. If the sound on equals true, they want us to play it. So let's get the node, stream player node again, and let's play it. Pretty simple. Let's close that. Pretty simple function, pretty simple behavior, but that's really all we need to do to swap from the menu music to the level 1 music. But we need a way of knowing if somebody has pressed the S key so that we can turn the sound on and off based on somebody pressing the S key. In earlier videos we used the input.isActionPressed to check for key presses. Now there's a second way of handling events in Godot, and we're going to discuss the second way to process the events in this music scene. So to set that behavior up, we need to tell Godot we want to use the input event function. So we'll set the process input to true. So we're telling Godot that we want the input function to be called anytime there's an event. So we need to write the function in here. So function input event. Now we need to check some things here. We need to say if event dot is action. So we're going to check to see if it is an action. And I want to use UI sound, and UI sound is there, but it shouldn't be in your code. So if it's not in the selection area, what do you need to do? You need to create it. So you'd go up to Scene, Project Settings, and in your input map, which I've already created the UI sound, which I'm going to just delete it so that I can create it again. And up here just type in UI sound, click Add, which will add it down here at the bottom, and we want to map the S key to the UI sound. So you click the plus, click on key, press the S key and then click OK. So you see that we've created the UI sound in our input map and we linked it to the S key. Click close. So now we want to use that here. Go down, select sound. We want to check for some other things as well. We want to know if the event is pressed. Dot is pressed. And we want to make sure that it's not being repeated. We want to make sure it's not an echo. Event, not event, dot echo. And close that. So we're checking to see if the event is the UI sound event. We're checking to see that it's pressed and it's not an echo. Now we're doing that because we want to use the S key to toggle the sound on and off. And if we don't use this type of checking for an event, we may get multiple key presses. So the sound might go on, off, on, off, on, off. We only want it to go from on to off or off to on. So this is the code that will make the key press only once. So we'll get the node at this point, which is our stream node. And we're going to check to see if it's playing. Of course, if it is playing, then we want to stop it. Get node, stream player, stop. We need to turn the value of sound on from true to false, right? Because at this point we've stopped the sound. So sound on equals false. Now we want to check for a different now we want to check for something else. Elif, get our node for the stream player again. And we want to check to make sure that it's not playing at this point. So if it's not playing, then we want to turn it on. Get node, stream player, dot play. And of course, because we turn the stream player on, we need to change the value of sound on. And that should do it for us. So now if I play this, I should be able to hit the S key and turn the sound on and off. So let's save the scene and then we'll play it. The music is playing. I'm going to hit the S key. I hit the S key and the sound turned off. Hit it again and the sound turns back on. So the music scene is behaving exactly as I expect it to behave. So that's pretty cool. So that's it for creating the music scene. Now let's implement it into the main scene. So we'll stop this. We'll open up the main scene. And now we'll add the music scene to our main scene. You'll just make sure your SB84 root is selected, hit the plus key, go to your music folder and the music scene, and you've loaded it up. Now I should be able to click play and the music should start. There you go. Your menu music started right up just like you expected. You can press the S key to turn the sound on and off. But what won't happen is when we press the enter key to play the game, which I'm going to do right now, the music for the menu is still playing. Now we can play the game, the score will go up and we can press escape, but we only have the menu music playing in the background, but we want it to change from the menu to the level 1. So we need to write some code in the SB84 root script to make that happen. So let's select the script and let's look at what we need to add to get the behavior we're expecting. The very first thing I guess I need to talk about is when in the last video when we incorporated the quit behavior, we need to modify that. It's not just .quit, it's actually get tree quit. Otherwise you're going to get some really strange behavior. So change that from .quit to get tree.quit. Okay? In the logic of our game, when we start the game, we basically want to set the music to the level 1 music. So after the set running here, let's get the node for our music root. And we created a function, right, to set the music. So let's call that function that we created, and it expects us to pass it a string that's representing the music we want to play. So we just say, hey, we want the level 1 01 music to start playing, right? So when the game is running, then we need to check to see if something happened, an asteroid hit the ship, and the game is over. In this case, we're hitting the UI cancel, remember? So we need to change the music when the game is over to the menu music. So after the game is running as false, then we need to get the node again for the music scene that we put in here. Get node, music root, dot, set the music again. Drop down one there, set music, and pass it what we want it to play. We want it to play the menu music, right? When the game is over. And in the last video there was an elif here, and let's just change that elif to if, which I've already done in my code here, so that both of the checks here are ifs, not, you don't have an elif on line 41. And that should be it. Let's go ahead and save this scene and let's play it. Okay, the game starts up with the menu music. You press the enter key to start the game. Yep, and it switched to the level 1 music the way we expected. Press the space bar, yep, and we can fire. We hit the escape key, it should go to game over and change the music back to the menu music, and it has, so it's behaving just like we expect. We hit the S key and it turns the sound off and back on. So that's it. We've incorporated music into our main scene. So that's it for this video. In the next one, we'll start getting the spaceship into the game as well. So here comes the fun part. We'll see you in the next one.